It seems like nothing's really stopped as far as the CBD world goes because people are looking to either lower their anxiety levels or boost their immune system. And speaking of that, I mean, we kind of, some people understand, some people don't know how CBD works in our body. We have an endocannabinoid system, but these animals that you guys are holding in your arms there, our dogs, our fur family, they have an endocannabinoid system too. So tell me how CBD kind of works with them and in similarity to how it works for us.
It's very similar on how it works for most animals as how it works for us. He's all set right here. I'm going to let him go. He's the boss. I answered him.
Yeah.
But no, it helps with most of the same things it helps humans. It helps with the animals, although we've seen better results on certain things because we feed the animals. So if we control their diets as well, the people that control the diets, we'll see a better reaction from the animals. Number one, they have more cannabinoid receptors than humans, like more, I guess, density of cannabinoid receptors than we do.
Okay.
And like I say, when we control the diet, we're not giving them sugar and inflammatory inducing foods. It tends to work sometimes better on the arthritis and the inflammatory diseases with the animals than it does with humans.
And do you find that that's because of those heightened levels of cannabinoid receptors? And then obviously you said because their diet seems to be more clean and not as diverse as maybe humans, so they'll get a better reception to these products, right?
Correct. And they're usually pets have such a strict regimen, so once they're in some kind of a system and a regimen, they tend to heal faster.
Some people that use CBD or have used cannabis recreationally, have either blown smoke in their dog's face to get them high. They think it's cute and funny when they get a little wobbly or whatever because they think that maybe they're getting the same effects that we are. But in actuality, their sensitivity to these types of products that come from cannabis is really, really heightened. So if we're not careful with the THC thing, like we could really damage our animals. But also with talk to me about the specific dosing and how important it is to understand how to dose your animals with something as not threatening as maybe THC, but a CBD.
Well, yeah, just in comparison, the recommended starting dose by our veterinarian that we consult with, Dr. Robert Silver, and pretty much the consensus of most veterinarians that have done studies, is you want to start low with 1 milligram per 10 pounds of body weight. And you can safely increase that up to 5 milligrams per 10 pounds of body weight over the course of a couple of weeks. You want to start slow or start low and add slow to find that therapeutic dose. Even a strong dose of 5 milligrams per 10 pounds is not going to be that adverse. You might see some side effects of just being sleepier, but that's about it. So it just shows you how sensitive they really are. So right now, a human might have like even a 10 milligram, which we think is a small amount of THC, to a small dog. That's like it's 100 times what they should be having. So it's detrimental. It won't kill them, although it will incapacitate them for a couple of days. And it's not a good sight if you've ever seen a dog that's been intoxicated on THC.
Yeah, no, it's not fun. It's not a good thing. A lot of families, a lot of people that that I've noticed, and maybe you guys can speak on this, but have bought CBD for their animals. They feel like they're alien or old, so they're looking for CBD to fix this, or those are the same type of people that I've talked to, and I'll be like, so are you using CBD? And they're like, oh, no, we don't need that. So, we understand this a little bit differently because CBD is a preventative type thing. It's something that you can use to boost your immunity, to boost your health. Same thing for a dog, right? Same thing for a cat. I mean, you don't need to be sick to take advantage of these great products. Aaron, why don't you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a great point. I actually we came up with an idea for an infographic yesterday pretty much about this. We have a blog on our website that speaks on this as well, about being proactive rather than reactive. And really, there are those categories of pet parents out there, just like, there are with people. There's people who take proactive measures for their health, and there are people who take reactive measures for their health. Whether it be eating the inflammation-inducing food over extended periods of time and not addressing, that built-up inflammation, that of course is going to lead into, a lot of these conditions that can be detrimental for ourselves and our pets. CBD is one of those things where, just like we want to be making sure we drink a sufficient amount of water, getting sufficient amount of vitamins and minerals through our diet, and having fresh ingredients in our diet. When you add CBD into that mixture, you're adding that extra level of homeostasis support, where you're going to, of course, boost all of your body's regulatory systems, whether it be the immune function, endocrine function, cardiovascular. Literally, like, every system is so dependent upon these compounds that cannabinoids like CBD help stimulate. That it's really the way you would want to be like. I don't want to just take vitamin C, when I'm sick. I would rather, take
all the time
juice and make sure I'm getting enough vitamins and minerals just on a daily basis ahead of time, before I find out, hey, I'm deficient in this stuff. And pets are deficient just like, we are with vitamins and minerals in the endogenous stimuli that cannabinoids like CBD can create in their bodies. So, as we age, we all can become deficient. We need the stuff. By supplementing it ahead of time and not, waiting till the problem's too far and then we have to react to it. That's how we stay ahead of these things. And it's really one of those things where, you want to stay ahead of it and have less vet visits. You know what I mean? It's cheaper. You're staying healthy. You don't have to keep going through problem reaction solution. You just keep yourself at homeostasis for a long period of time, and our pets as well. So, reactive and proactive. There's two baskets of perspectives, and CBD is definitely one of those things to be proactive with. Although it can be beneficial when you're reactive, your pet's already old and has arthritis, and you're just learning about all this stuff. Yeah, the CBD is going to be very beneficial. But it's also a big thing to be talking about this ahead of time so that people can realize, like, oh, hey, maybe I should be giving this stuff. My pet's already happy and healthy right now because I want them to stay happy and healthy. I don't want to keep going to the vet and worrying about, these allergies and all these other conditions that are inflammation, ridden and rooted. So,
yeah.
No,
great points. I think it's kind of twofold. Yeah, we want to stay ahead of things, and we've got a lot of people out there. Oh, I'm healthy. I eat well, and I drink plenty of water, and I feel really good. I don't need that stuff. I don't go to the doctor that often, but they don't understand that also within eating well, the nutrients within our foods are diminishing. Let's take processed foods and fast foods off the table because we already know that that's garbage. Yeah. But even our plants, even the fruits and vegetables, even buying organic, those things, the values, the nutritional values are just getting less and less over time. And then as we get older, our bodies are becoming more deteriorated, more dehydrated as we get older and stuff like that. So it's most important to not just feed our bodies with good food and good water and stuff like that, but to find the right supplements for our body. And it just so happens that the most misunderstood system in our body is the endocannabinoid system. You say that word and people look at you like you're saying something out of a foreign language, but it's been given to us since the beginning of time by our creator. And the same creator created a plant that grows out of the ground that has 100 different cannabinoids to nurture that system. So if you look at it that way, it just simplifies the whole thing. And it's like, okay, now you just made a great argument for this, Aaron. You make me want to buy some CBD. I just, added to that. So now I'm going to throw the question back at you. I'm interested now, but there's a world of different CBD products out in the marketplace. Who do I trust? How do I go about it? What am I looking for when I'm trying to find a product to implement in my life?
Number one, transparency.
Okay.
And a company that's very transparent, that shows you testing from plant to final product, and there's a story there. If anything of any of the story is hidden or there's not a face behind it, it's usually a white label situation. Which, like, again, right now there's about 3 or 4 different large vertically integrated companies, and they grow it, they extract it, and they white label on a large large scale, and about 60 to 70% of the companies that you see out there are using some one of those oils. So all of that stuff is kind of the same, you know. It's big farm. It's run over by tractors. It's destroyed. It's put into heat ovens to dry. It's big industry. When we get these cannabinoids from a flower, so it's like, when was the last time you saw a tractor take down a rose garden? Never, because it's a flower. It's a delicate thing. So you want to find some people that are there for the plant and really care about it, because it's not just the cannabinoids that we're getting the stuff, but we're getting the benefits from. It's from the terpenes, it's from the flavor, it's from the whole plant flower. So you want to keep that as intact as possible. So there's lots of different ways you can find that out. You want to find out their story. You want to find out if they're testing, if it's a third-party lab test, or if it's just their own test. Because I can post anything on a PDF and write anything. No one's really going to know. But if it's a third-party test, it goes directly to that third party, then there's it's out of, say, my hands, as a manufacturer. Excuse me. But you want to look for transparency.
That makes total sense. And let me ask you this. We talk about CBD. CBD is one of 100 different cannabinoids. Everybody's really afraid of THC. So talk to me about and do you guys use, I know the answer, but talk to me about full spectrum versus broad spectrum and isolate, and why we're leaning towards one versus the other.
Sure. I mean, this is like a century-long debate here between like Eastern and Western philosophy on medicine, really. Here in the Western world, literally everything that is used to address or treat, some sort of ailment is coming from a medical industry where they aim to isolate a certain particle or a certain compound, and use that as a way to patent that so that they can, make it proprietary, and then they can cure the disease with a proprietary compound that, can't be varied. Right? It's that compound. It's that compound only. That's the one that cures X, Y, or Z. So that's the Western philosophy. If you go to like Eastern philosophy on medicine, and you start looking at how they look at functional medicine, just a lot of the holistic approaches like that, they don't do that. Nobody's isolating particles or looking for proprietary compounds to address an ailment. You know what I mean? It's I guess if you go back to like the old statement, "Don't fix what isn't broken." I think there's a big disconnect between that and the CBD industry right now, because there's a lot of these Western companies who want to isolate CBD and use the CBD isolate, call it as pure as can be, because there's nothing other than CBD in it. It's as pure as can get. It sounds nice, right? A lot of people, a lot of like more corporate type people, or people who come into this industry from a more like Wall Street or somewhat of a suit, I guess, type people. These people like that because it limits, it's going to limit liability as well, right?
It's commerce too, it's money.
Yeah, when you isolate a CBD particle and you have a CBD isolate, you're limiting the risk that there's THC in it, which people, a lot of people might see as a liability, like, oh, hey, even if there's a little bit amount, it could be a liability. And if you have shareholders who are coming from more conservative backgrounds, then of course they're not going to be on board for having any amount of THC in it. So they're going to want to go as Western and as isolated as possible. You know what I mean? So you get down to people who actually care about the medicine and people who understand the studies of how this plant actually works. People who understand that, hey, there's people in Israel and Jerusalem actually studying with whole plant medicine, and they're seeing significant results for X, Y, and Z. There's also people like Rick Simpson who has fought for his freedom and has fought to pave this whole message for this whole plant cannabis extract that can be used to help heal ourselves. Right? It's putting the healing back in our control. We're not looking towards a doctor or big pharma, who's going to give us an isolate. There's that Eastern philosophy of how we're going to heal ourselves through this whole plant. Which is here God gifted to us for, this purpose. Like you said, there's 100 different cannabinoids in this plant. Why are we only going to focus on one of them when we have a system inside of our body which is fully equipped to know what to do with all 100 of those and and they make just a beautiful puzzle inside of us, just completely fit, right? So, that's a big debate right now. A lot of people who really care about it, and even like our veterinarian, Dr. Robert Silver, he is very adamant about the fact that, that when you have that little bit of intoxicating THC in there, which, you can have where it's not intoxicating, it's going to help activate the entourage effect, which is actually a very well studied and well known and talked about concept of all of these cannabinoids working together in conjunction with each other, helping activate that CBD, helping activate those minor cannabinoids, all because they work together they're meant to work with each other.
Like an orange, right?
Yeah.
When you eat an orange, you absorb the vitamin C a lot better than if you just eat a pill, right? Because there's other things in that orange, whether it be the acids, whether it be some of the flavonoids, which make the taste of the orange, that helps, drive the vitamin C to where you need it to go.
Right.
So similar with the hemp plant, is you want the whole plant to work together, because like you said, the entourage effect, it all works together. Now, if you want an intoxicating plant, then you get one with more THC. There's different varieties. That the plant has endless amount of varieties. But for what we're talking about, CBD and the animals, you want to find a variety that just has a lot of CBD and maybe CBG and some of the other cannabinoids that are very beneficial for the animal. So we use the whole plant, a look or our point of view to address all of our products. It's better than just isolating one, like he was saying, because you really, why you just want one when there's 100 other ones that work.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Is too, just real quick, like a lot of people get scared on that THC thing, you know what I mean? Everybody kind of gets scared and they think, hey, if it is a full spectrum, maybe there's a chance that, me or my pet could get high. When I think there's an education disconnect there, and a lot of people may just need that extra reinforced, kind of point of view, like, hey, there can be a non-intoxicating amount of THC in a full spectrum hemp profile. And really, if it's less than 0.3, percent delta 9 THC, you shouldn't have an intoxicating effect. If anything, terpenes have they have psychoactive effects in themselves. So that's another conversation. A lot of people, don't even realize that terpenes have these therapeutic effects. And so, I think there's just a big disconnect. And right now is the perfect time for us to be painting this picture and telling the story, and really, let people know, like, hey, this is safe. This plant can be non-intoxicating as a full spectrum profile, and you don't have to be scared.
Yeah. No, I agree. When I went to Michael over at Scorpion to help me with my cancer battle, the first thing he said was treat this thing like a vegetable. Stop looking at it like a drug. We gotta really look at this as a total solution. So, to the point of not stripping things down, he started having me eat the leaves and juice the leaves, and I juice them to today. I mean, I got a big bag of leaves in my refrigerator at all times, and I'm throwing a big pile in my juices every single day. And it's because it's got all of the cannabinoids at its most natural, form. And then as it gets processed. Now we got oils that are fantastic, but like you say, you want to find something that's full spectrum because it's not being stripped down another 100 times to get to that isolated CBD down here. We're going to keep all of them together and let them work together, like that entourage effect that you alluded to. And I think it's just so important for people to understand your point, Aaron, that you don't have to have THC in your body and get high. You can get a proper dosage in your body, and find those thresholds, because everybody's response is different. So I always educate people on the entire plant and leave that up to them on how they want to dose in. And we've got products to give you whatever you're looking for in a combination that we can work with for people. Because I really think that to get a great balance and to get the most medicinal benefit, we want to see our CBD and THC content around that 1-to-1 ratio, I think. And if we could build our tolerance enough to get that THC in there, because what we understand about it being a carrying agent for the other cannabinoids, namely CBD, being that boosting power to help CBD work even more and have all those things work together. I really want to try and squash out this stigma that's been around for so long. And it's good to have, it's so wonderful to have people like you guys that understand it so well. And then you're in the pet market because, people look at their pets and being able to help them. It's a lot softer type approach. And then it kind of opens up the idea, well, why aren't you doing it? If you're giving it for your pet, why aren't you buying an oil for yourself, And so, I think it's pretty cool where we're at. Like you said, Aaron, it's a great time to be having these conversations, and it's a great time for people to be waking up to this and understanding what we have here. Like a great full spectrum CBD product can help people with their anxiety, with their sleep issues. I mean, the myriad of different conditions and diseases and things that it helps with, the side effects and whatnot. It's just an amazing, amazing solution.
So many people are just deficient out there and they don't even, realize what's going on in their bodies. So, I mean, if they give, the thing is, once they give themselves the chance and they open their minds to it and try it out, what we find is even on the people side, from within friends and family and stuff, my mom herself, was complete anti, any type of cannabis, including hemp a couple years ago. Now, she's completely open to full spectrum, loves every type of full spectrum product that I can provide, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's one of those things where once you really get that point across, people will understand because they have these problems and they just want it to go away. I think that's the main thing. We just need to find that connection. You know what I mean? People are just disconnected. They have a problem. This is a potential solution. What can we do to open their minds to at least giving it a shot? And then I think over time, that's just more people are just going to keep having the snowball effect where it builds up. And then hopefully within a generation or two, this won't even be, this will be a conversation of old and a paradigm of the past,
Yeah. It's a great time to be alive, man. It's a great time to be part of this movement. I'm thrilled that I get to be locking arms with you guys, man. It's been such an honor getting to know you guys and being part of your team and forming this team. And Bailey's, Scorpion, we've got a great thing going here, and I just want to continue this in any way that I can continue to show support for you guys and what you do. Speaking of that, let's talk a little bit more about what you do. We didn't touch on the philanthropy part of it. I mean, you guys give back every single month to shelters and different things. Why don't you talk about the programs of what you do and how people, when they buy from Bailey's, what that kind of goes towards?
Sure. Every month we choose a new rescue organization, usually no-kill shelters. And for every 4 items we sell in retail, online or at an event, we will donate one small bottle to that rescue. So we've been able to work with, a different rescue every month to get to raise the awareness, because when these rescue dogs come in, there's not a lot of money, for their medical, any time their checkups or any serious medicine, they don't really have that. They're anxious, they're hurt, so it's something that really helps the animals out when they get there. And hopefully that, goes with the animal when it gets to its final home. But we want to help as many animals as possible. That's kind of one of our mission statements, and that's one way we can do that, is to get back to a new rescue run. This guy right here, a little skittish because he's kind of new. We rescued him up in Fresno. Aaron's his father right here, but it's from ARF. And last month we did our giveaway to ARF and
Animal Rescue of Fresno.
Yeah, and they're a no-kill shelter with over 150 dogs. And then they'll take some of their dogs and drive them to somewhere else so they can bring in new dogs from kill shelters. So they do great work up there. And we want to support people like that and help. That's another way we can help more animals.
This month we're partnered with Wyoming Pug Rescue, which is an awesome, their nationwide networked pug rescue. They help place hundreds of pugs, every year into homes, and just really good people. So yeah, we love being able to just have these opportunity to partner with these rescues and really make an impact. Because, whether dogs are, living with very entitled, a lifestyle, or, they're living at the bottom on the rescues, all these pets have these problems, and we can personally help touch as many as possible. We've done our job.
Yeah, no, you guys are definitely doing it, man. I'm proud of you guys, and keep it up. And if there's any way that I can continue to share the message, I definitely will. So in saying that, in parting, why don't you guys tell people how to find you?
Sure. At Bailey's CBD on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, pretty much all socials. Bailey'sCBD.com. That's where you can find our products. And yeah, you can use the code RESCUE15 for 15% off. Like Jay said, for every 4 items we sell, we donate a 150 milligram bottle to our Rescue of the Month. So, literally every purchase is going towards that impact of, helping those pets that are less fortunate. So yeah, thank you so much, Gary, for, letting us, be with you here today.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. Yeah, I'm just stoked for you guys, and I appreciate all the information that you shared, and we'll definitely be doing this again soon. Hopefully we'll be doing it together in studio and doing some more events, man. We were just I know you guys been doing a lot of events, but I was just getting started with you guys, man. And I was all pumped up and got this quarantine slapped on us, and now here we are locked in Zoom world. So, but life is good, man. That's why we got some good full spectrum products to keep us nice and light and easy on the mind, and keep things moving forward, right?
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. I hope that whoever's watching this got a little something out of it, whether it's your pet or yourself that you're looking for a solution. A great full spectrum CBD product is a great place to start. Cannabis in general, I think, is something that everybody needs to learn about. And there's just so much that it has to offer. So Jay, Aaron, thank you guys for your input and your time as always. So we'll be talking to you soon, brothers.
Thanks, man. All right, Gary.
All right, fellas. I'll be talking to you soon. Thank you very much.
Yeah.